Shalom, 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 mishpaka, shalom. It's your brother Saint Zaria, and we are back with another episode of P.A.D.S series, Proverbs A Day Series. So, you know what it is, man. We're just going to get right into it. No lesson plan, no doctrines of belief. We just sitting here with wisdom at 6 a.m. Right? So, let's just get right into it, yo. I'm tired, but I'm up. I'm ready. We got to go get to it, right? So let's get to it. All right, so we're looking at Proverbs 19 and 1. Better is the poor that walketh with his integrity than he that is with perverse lips and is a fool, right? So action is better. A man with action, a man with integrity who's walking, is better than he that is perverse, that is corrupted with his mouth. He ain't even doing nothing, he just talking, right? And is a fool. Right? He says that the soul be without knowledge, it is not good. And he that hasteth with his feet sinneth. Right? Always quick to run somewhere. You always see people running to the liquor store, to the dispensaries, or to the whatever. Right? He says, the foolishness of a man perverteth his ways, and his heart fretteth against the Most High. See, so seems like this chapter is really getting into perversion and how foolishness can pervert you, right? If you don't have no wisdom, you are going to be a pervert, right? If you don't understand um, the nature of procreation, you're going to be living like a foolish lifestyle. You're going to be you're going to be looking like a foolish person to the Most High, right? If you desire a woman or a man, that's perverse. You don't even know the person. You ain't never said nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? So you being perverse, there ain't nothing wrong with, hey, shalom, how are you? Nice to meet you. But to be perverse is just to sit there and lust after him or whatever plot, right? It says, wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor, right? Money make everybody love you. But when you broke, even your neighbors despise you. People who live in the same situation hating on you. He said, the false witness shall not be unpunished. And he that speaketh lies shall not escape. You see? So that's why we got to keep Yah's commandments. Because we know Yah going to keep his word. Whether we keep it or not. Whether we good or evil. Whether we get the blessings or curses. Yah going to keep his word. Like, that's just the reality of it. It says, many will entreat the favor of the prince, and every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. Right? So you walking around, you ain't got no friends, sisters, brothers. I ain't got no friends in this truth, man. I'm tempted to go back into the world. Are you being friendly? Are you going to places where the Hebrews be at? Are you giving gifts? Are you bringing a plate to Shabbat? Are you going to the feast days? All the brethren of the poor do hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? He pursueth them with words, yet they are wanting to him. All right? So everybody, all the poor hate him. How much more do his friends go from him? He pursued them with words, yet they are wanting. Ain't enough. Few solid people, but it's not enough. Right? Even your friends gonna go far from you when you poor, man. That's the thing. Don't nobody be coming to kick it with you when you poor. Because they know you can't go out. They know you always got a problem. And they know you're gonna ask for some money. Right? Even your friends go from you. He pursued them with words. Hey, Shalom, most I bless. What's up? Hey, can I borrow $50, man? No. All right, what's up? Like, come on, bro. That's the idea, man. It's like poverty is also, it kind of show you a person is dealing with as well. Like Proverbs teaches us that money goes to women and wine, right? Women and substance, right? So most times, sometimes people don't have that bread because they dealing with something. He says, first day, he that giveth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. Right? You love your soul, you're gonna treat your soul good. You ain't gonna be watching all this crazy stuff on TV. You ain't gonna be eating all this crazy food, taking all these designer drugs, all this crazy stuff. He that have understanding shall find good. So you got a little understanding, right? If you just understand, you ain't gotta have wisdom, just a little understanding. Because that understanding is gonna keep building upon itself, it's gonna compound, right? So this is what we're talking about. Once you find understanding, it's good. Keep finding some more. It says, false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall perish. Right? Stop lying. Right? We saw about Rachel the other day, how she was lying. Stole her father's idols, and that got her killed. Right? Jacob said, whoever got him, let him die to death. She said, I can't get up. You know, I'm on my cycle. So it would have been better to tell the truth. Take the little whooping, take the tongue lashing from the husband and father, than to die prematurely with only 2 kids because of a lie. Because you were stuck on the idol, because you were stuck in the world, right? You could have had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kids, but because of a lie, and you stood on it, and then because you lied, you got cursed. Now you gotta pass away with 2 kids, so you're gonna perish, right? The light is not seemly for a fool, much less for a servant to have rule over princes, right? It says, discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is holy to pass over a transgression. Let him slide, bro. I remember listening to that Nas album, uh, the one with Ether on it, man. Said we got him right in our sights. What you want to do? Nah, leave it, let him go. Right? Could have took him out right there. Let him go. Have discretion, man. Right? The discretion of a man deferreth his anger. And when you angry, you really can't even process, right? When you angry, now you become somebody else's slave. You gotta master yourself. Don't let nobody else master you. He said a king's wrath is as a roaring lion, and his favor is as the dew upon the grass. Right? So when the king, somebody got power, it's like a lion jumping on you. But his favor is like the dew upon the grass. So like that little precious pure water that come from the earth that water the grass, and you don't really understand it, but it's holy and immaculate. That's what it's like being blessed by somebody with some some strength, right? And that's what Jacob and Esau got in their blessings, the dew of heaven, right? The foolish son is the calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are as a continual dropping. So a woman always, yeah, 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 yeah. You sit down, you get a minute, yeah, 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 yeah. So it says a contentious wife, somebody that's always being contentious, right? I always want to fight, you know. He said, a foolish son is the destruction of his father, right? It says, houses and riches are the inheritance of the father, and a prudent wife is from Yah, right? This is basic wisdom, man. Our fathers are supposed to give us the inheritance, riches, not the government, not your boss. Your daddy is supposed to be your boss, to be honest with you. You're supposed to be working in your father's house on his business and his career and his craft. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to pass it to your son, et cetera, et cetera. All right. And that's how you build on that. He says a prudent wife is from Yah, right? Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. Right? When you ain't putting in no work and you just sitting there idle, you're gonna be poor. So you want to get rich, you gotta put in work. And you're not supposed to work for riches, but the scriptures tell you, do you see a man diligent in his work? He shall stand before princes. He shall not stand before mighty men. Right? Ecclesiastes. Right? So you gotta be focused on your bread. And that's the thing. Don't even focus on, because here's a little bit of wisdom, right? You're gonna master whatever you do. Like if you wanted, like if you was an artist and you've been drawing since you was 16 and now you 25 and you code at it, it's because you consistently did something that you was trying to do. Now that might not necessarily make you no money, but that wasn't the goal. You thought it was the goal. The goal was to get better at drawing, which you did. So now if you want to make money, then you got to learn how to make money. Everything you practice, you get good at. So practice at making money. Practice money. Like you practice being a chef. Like that's the we practice being a chef or a lawyer or an accountant. We master it, but then be like, well, I'm not making enough money. Should have mastered money. He says, we're going to says, he that keepeth commandments keepeth his own soul, but he that despiseth his way shall die. Right? Keep the commandments, man. It's like it's really that simple. Because it could be like we could sit here and say it's a health thing, like yeah, not eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, raccoon, possum is good for you. It's good for your health. But we also got to acknowledge it's good for the spirit too, right? Because even Esau tell you, when you eat these animals, you take on their essence, right? So why we eat lamb? Yah calls us a lamb. So what's the characteristics of a lamb? Right? That's why y'all tells us don't eat rabbits, because y'all gonna be out here like rabbits, running around, humping and doing wickedness. Right? Don't eat wolves because their family structure is set up differently. Right? Don't eat the lion or the dog because you're gonna take on that nature. But it's just wisdom. It's just a little wisdom. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto Yah. That which he hath given, he will repay him again. All right. So go and give it to y'all, man. Go and feed the poor. Y'all gonna give it back to you. It's just that simple. You hand out $100 worth of food. Y'all probably pay your rent next month. I don't know. Probably give you $101, but he gonna pay you back. That's the biggest thing. He gonna pay you back. Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare for his crying. Daddy, daddy, please, daddy. Nah, bro, go lay down. Go take a nap, bro. Cause you sleepy. You wild. You and your sister. Right? It says chasten. Keep them tight, bro. Keep them protected. Don't let them run free. right? Said a man of great wrath shall suffer punishment. For thou, if thou deliver him, thou must do it again. Boy, this is so prevalent in my life. It helped out a few brews, and you know what I'm saying, delivered them, and then they was ungrateful, and then had to deliver them again, and ungrateful, and yada yada yada, but yada yada yada, yada yada yada, yada yada yada. Right? I wonder what that word means in Hebrew. I think it means to know or something, or no, not to know. I gotta look that up. Can't be saying these random words, man, these random noises. It says, hear thou counsel and retrieve instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. Right? Ain't a whole bunch of old fools around. All the old fools be going in the dirt, man. So be old with some wisdom, right? There are many devices in a man's heart, nevertheless, the counsel of Yah shall stand. Right? So people be having all these different things in their heart. Man, I'm gonna do this. Man, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna do this. But Yah is gonna stand at the end. Yah's gonna tell you, "No, it ain't time for that. No, you supposed to keep the Torah. No, you got to get yourself first before you break down somebody else's house." Right? So you know, counsel with the Most High, man. Pray on these things. Don't just be doing what you want because it feel right. Right? The desire of a man is his kindness, and the poor is better than the liar. Right? Because better is the poor that walk in integrity than the liar that speaketh with his lips, that's perverse with his lips. Right? So that's verse 1. It says, the fear of Yah tendeth to life. So fearing God, keeping his commandments, right? Because I know if I don't do this, he gonna put this on me. He gonna give me this sickness. He gonna do this to my family. He gonna do this to my house. So I fear Yah. Because he said he gonna melt me if I don't. He'll melt me with holy nuclear fire from Mother Muzarosha, right? So that's why we fear, because we have faith that the Most High is going to deliver us, and that's what all this salvation is about. You ask a Christian, what's salvation? Man, you know that's when you get saved. Oh, okay, bro, have a good day. So, but we read in Luke where it says we're going to be saved from our enemies. I pray everybody gets saved from their enemies, but it ain't my call, bro. Like didn't we just read that? We literally just read that. There are many devices in Isaiah's heart. So Isaiah can want love, peace, happiness, gold chains, and do-rags for everybody. Right? A little bit of everybody get a piece of chicken. All right, I'm wild. All right. Right. So Isaiah could want whatever he wants in his heart. He could want love, peace, happiness for the Rainbow Coalition. But nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord shall stand. The word of God shall stand. The judgment of God shall stand. Bump what Isaiah want and his friends and his group and his left or right beliefs and his Christian or Muslim or Jewish beliefs. The judgment of God is going to stand at the end of the day. Bump the Lent and the Ramadan. The judgment of the word of God is going to stand. Right? We understand, like the Bible teaches us, like the Jews, Israel got a zeal for the Most High, a desire, a strong passion to serve God, right? So that's why we tend to go to like the witchcrafts and the voodoos and the Santeria and the Islam and the false doctrines of Christianity, right? So, but he says we have the zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. right? So we want to serve God in the way we think in our heart, but the judgment, the counsel, the word of God is going to stand. So how He want to be served, that's going to stand. Now how we want to serve it, right? God don't care if you're uncomfortable with wearing a skirt. God don't care if you're uncomfortable with growing your beard. God don't care if you don't want to practice monogamy. He gonna push you in a position where he's like, nah, I'm gonna make you be a sign if you keep in his words. If you're not gonna embarrass him, because why would you like would you get with a woman who gonna embarrass you and make you a public shame? Right. So why would the most high deal with people or person that's not actively keeping his ways? Right? But they keep in their own ways. They keep in the traditions of men. They're doing things where they don't even understand why they're doing them. Right? It says, the desire of a man is his kindness. Oh, we read this one, Salakia. Did we read that? Yeah. And the fear of Yah to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. Right? So keeping his commandments, man. Because you know what that is? It's like the word of Yah doesn't change, but the world does. So right now, like for instance, people are getting body augmented, like breast implants or feelers in the face and all this different stuff. Now, it's necessarily not against the law or whatever, but it's probably not healthy for you. Like if you got to understand, like, oh, I'm the temple of God. Like, why the temple of God need like a BBL? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like we may not understand that this stuff may cause sickness now, but we don't know that it may cause sickness in 10 years, 20 years or so. Or it could make your head swell up and you look like the little characters in the Michael Jackson Speed Demon video, right? That's what people be looking like when they go too far. His word don't change. So when he tell you to wear linen and cotton and wool, and this society has went from linen, cotton, wool, polyester to fluffed up plastic to recycled plastic. And now we got endocrine problems. Now we got hormonal problems as a country, as a population. Now our hormones are all messed up. It's because you just kept the word. That now your daughter, now your son don't have to deal with that. Now their kids don't have to deal with that because they've been keeping the word. They don't have to deal with eating hybrid foods or fruits because Yah told us not to do that. So when they see a new Peruvian pear, a dragon pear or whatever, it's like, no, we ain't touching that. That's man made. Yah told us not to touch that stuff. So why everybody becoming infertile because they eating the seedless watermelon, me and mine, we fruitful and multiplying. And that's how righteousness just be coming back in the earth. Like that's what we gotta understand. Once you actually keep the commandments and all right, you got a couple women locked in, 3 women locked in with you. Now you got 10, 15 kids, you got your land, you got another family, you got another brother. Hey, what's up, Shalom? Let's lock in. Now you got 50 people, 2, 3 families coming together. It ain't about no camp no more. That's the thing. These camps trying to keep you in the camp. Or these I see you can't see camps. Right. So it's the fact that they just trying to maintain the American dream. They're trying to maintain American values and disguising it as I see you can't see incorporated. It's just that simple, man. But we know broad is the way to destruction, right? That's the broadest way. That's surely not the narrow path. If everybody going that way, how could that be the narrow path? But I digress. That's what I'm saying. I just deal with wisdom. And when I see lack of wisdom, I can just go on a little tangent for a little bit, but that's another thing. He says, a slothful man hideth his hands in his bosom and will not so much bring it to his mouth again. Right? Don't hang out with no slothful, lazy, slow down, stuck in one place, loser men. Man, don't hang out with men that ain't got nothing, bro. Blessings to blessings, eye to eye, right? If he ain't got no, I don't know, like, because a woman could take a minute, right? But I don't know. Like, I just ain't never sit right with me. No woman, no camp, no brethren, no kids in the truth. It's like, we know when you keep y'all's commandments, he gonna bless you. He gonna give you something. Like, even in that parable, man, with the prodigal son, right? Even the son that was wild in the streets, he came back and got some blessings. And the son that been doing righteousness, he said, "You ain't even give me a little goat. You ain't give me a little bit, a kid, and I've been righteous the whole time." And he said, "Everything I got is yours." Right? But this little one, he came back. So let's throw it up for him, bro. Just plain and simple. Right? He said, "Smite the scorner, and the simple will beware, and reprove one that hath understanding, and he will understand knowledge." Man, and that's why we're here. We're here for reproof and refinement. Right? We're here to get better. We ain't here to get fans and friends, and cause I'll be gone tomorrow, boy. I'll be in the kingdom chilling, listening to Wu-Tang tape or something. No, it's off. But you know what I'm saying, man. We're not here to be known. Like, be like Christ, and Christ was like, I ain't here to make no reputation. Y'all made that reputation. It ain't even accurate. It ain't even right. Right? He says, "He that works with his father and chased away his mother is a son that causes shame and bringeth reproach." Right? You're supposed to honor your parents, man. Best thing your father did was lay with your mother. I don't care. I don't care what he did to you or what he didn't do. Right? The best thing he ever did was lay with your mama, and that's enough. That's enough. You good. You ain't need him to be there to cut, to put band-aids on you. You ain't need him to be there to play catch with you. You ain't need him to be there to do none of that. That was just extra. All praises to the Most High if you got it. Right? But the only thing you needed from him was to live with your mama. And that's what he did. Man. You ain't got to carry no feelings. You ain't got to carry no hate. You ain't got to, because why you carrying that baggage? Just to pass it down to your kids. Right? He says, "Cease, my son, and hear the instruction that calls to err from words, from the words of knowledge." Right? So hear instruction, bro. Chill, pause, take a breather. Peep what I'm about to put into your ear. Because when you get this instruction, it's gonna cease to error. Right? You're gonna slow down with making mistakes. You're gonna have a better year. Right? It says, "An ungodly witness scorn judgment, in the mouth of the wicked devour iniquity." Right? So an ungodly witness hates judgment, hate when you keeping them commandments, hate when you teaching. We got to keep the book, not just the parts you like, not just the parts that make you look pretty, and you go to the feast days with your polyester clothes and you don't dress like that now one day in your life, right? But you be in the grocery store with blue jeans on and t-shirt, a Mickey Mouse t-shirt, but on Shabbat you got fringes on. On holy days, you look like something that fell out the heavens. Come on, man. We gotta do better, Israel. We gotta do so much better. I don't never see no Hebrews wearing their garments in the bread aisle. Like that's where everybody be. Everybody go and get bread. That's the most common place. That's wisdom. Even a bread shall be defiled, man. Bread is the most basic thing in the world. We don't be there with our garments on. I can't tell you how many times people stop me. Hey, Shalom, huh? Shalom for you, Hebrew. I'm like, okay, what's up? I ain't know you was a Hebrew because you ain't had no fringes on, you ain't had no tassels on, nothing. Like, all right, man, have a good day. Shalom. And that's the truth, Ruth, because it's like what I'm gonna sit there and talk to you about the truth for 5, 10, 30, an hour, minutes. And it's like you're not even doing the parts that you can do. Well, I don't want to wear fringes because I don't want to be associated with them people that be yelling. Okay. All right, bro. Have a good day. Sure. Like, bro, I ain't got time to be trying to convert people that ain't trying to learn. Like, that's the reality. Ain't nobody wake me up. Y'all woke me up. I was studying biology. It was like, why we getting killed so much? Figured, yeah, I wanted to go into genetics in my master's program and started looking up genes, E1B1. Black people got the E1B1 gene, the original gene from Adam that comes from Abraham. Who's Abraham? Abraham's the father of the Israelites. Who the Israelites? Israelites are descendants of the Hispanics, blacks, Native. Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. Drops out of college, start teaching the word, start studying day and night, falling asleep with the Bible on my chest. I ain't got time for it, bro. Traveled the world, captured multiple times. It's Turkey, Israel, uh, Palestine, captured and questioned. Come on, man. Like Paul, man, we suffered shipwreck for this, dude. Y'all can't even wear fringes. We suffered shipwreck for this. Judgment are prepared for scorners and stripes for the backs of fools. So that's why we pushing wisdom, man, because we can't afford to be foolish. We can't afford not to be wise, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed that lesson, man. I like the cameras. I got the angles better. The cameras back. No technical difficulties. Now, brother just need his hair rebraided and we back, baby. So that being said, I'm gonna say shalom. I will see y'all tomorrow, man. Other than that, bro, y'all have a great day, man. Praise y'all. Get some wisdom, man. Shalom.